is quarterback Jacob Park, outside linebacker Michael Simmons, defensive end Joe Cook, and inside linebacker Cecil Smith.
Thank you. Al?
I've got my principal James Blake and my athletic director Lauren West, our quarterback Mason Rudolph, free safety Corey Sargent, and wide receiver Dupree Hart.
Okay, thank you. We'll go ahead and get media, if you can go ahead and start with your questions.
Coach, you took the No Shave November pretty literally, I guess.
Yes, I did. I'm glad she introduced me the right way, which is I am part of the Duck Dynasty.
Could each coach kind of talk about your journey getting here and kind of what it took? I don't think there's not a whole lot of surprise that these two teams are here. You know, Northwestern, you came in ranked #1, and Stratford, you were in the top 5. But kind of talk about your journey and the things you had to overcome to get here.
Well, you know, our program, you know, kind of took a hit back in '07 when the school split, and this group of seniors here 4 years ago as ninth graders, we kind of singled them out and said they were probably going to be the group that would get us back to some glory in our program, and they've done that. You know, last year we were the 27th largest school in the state, got drawn all the way up to Division I, and went 11-2 and lost a very close ball game to Gaffney in the second round. They ended up going on to win the state championship pretty easily, and felt like that gave us some confidence coming in this year. We had a stumble there toward the end of the year, lost to an undefeated South Florence team and an undefeated Goose Creek team. But you know, you never say a loss is good for you, but it may have helped our group. We might have been riding a little too high, and it really centered us on the things that we need to do well and the high attitude. And as the playoffs have started, I think we've played a little better and played a little more cohesive as a unit, and feel like our team unity and our camaraderie is good. Our kids believe in themselves. Know we're playing a great Northwestern team, but we'll give them 48 full minutes and everything we got.
For us, it was, you know, we had a heartbreaking loss in the state championship game last year. You know, I was asked a lot, did that fuel our off season? And honestly, you know, our off season was the same as it always is. We strive to be in the state championship game, and that's what fuels us in the off season. But for these guys to pretty much have a target on their back, you know, week in, week out, and you know, show up and play the way they have, and have that added pressure of, like you said, a lot of people, you know, already projecting us to be in the state championship just because we were there last year and had a bunch of juniors. You know, I'm just very proud of the way they've handled themselves and got to this part of the season, and we're here. But you know, it's a one round fight at this point, and Coach Stackley's done a great job with his team. We've heard a ton about them. We don't get to see, we don't play any common opponents or get to really see anybody that plays them or get to cross over any film. So this has been the first week we've got to really lay eyes on, you know, what they've done. It's just a credit to, like Coach said, you got a group of guys that's been together as freshmen, and they've kind of gone through that changing of schools. We had the same thing happen to us when South Point opened up and Northwestern and Rock Hill kind of took a hit. So we've both been in the same boat, and we're here in a big game, and it'll be exciting to see two really good football teams play.
Good. Obviously, the quarterbacks are well known in this game. The two Trombo quarterbacks, probably the top 2 prospects in the state. Could each coach kind of comment on their quarterback and what they've meant to the program and to the season success?
I think Coach said earlier that this might be the first time in the history of the state where you get 2 Trombo quarterbacks going against each other in the state championship game. So you know, that's exciting for the state, and just shows what kind of football we have here, you know, in the state of South Carolina, and how we're represented nationally. For us, you know, Mason transferred in from a private school and replaced some big shoes in Justin Worley, and we kind of came in together. He replaced big shoes in Justin, and I replaced some big shoes in Coach Wallace. So you know, we've both just attacked the job the same way. We've worked our tails off day in, day out, you know, to try to be better than the previous day. And Mason's done a great job of that, and he's led the football team, and he's got this group around him, and they've done a good job of just trusting each other and just growing those relationships. And now, he's sitting here as a senior, and he's, back-to-back years sitting at the same table that Justin sat at for 3 straight years. So it's just, once again, a credit to the hard work that he's done to prepare himself to be a big-time quarterback in the state, and what his teammates have done to accept him and kind of grow with him.
Jacob's a little different. He's got thrust into the starting role as a 9th grader. We've never played a 9th grade quarterback in my 29 years at Stratford. It was out of necessity. We lost a quarterback that had some issues happen to him. He was no longer in our program. And he's had to, get beat up a little bit, and we've had to hold him back a little bit until his sophomore year we could get a bigger grasp on the offense, and he's done better each year. We have not won quite as much as Northwestern has, but we've been 9-4, 11-2, now 12-2 the last 3 years of him at quarterback. And I think it's, again, to reiterate what Kyle said, what a great state we got for football. We got 2 quarterbacks like this playing in the state championship game. 2 nationwide recruits, 2 outstanding guys with big arms. Both of them can run, both of them can run the football. It should be a very exciting ball game. I think it's also important to note that even though we got 2 great quarterbacks sitting here, there's a lot of good football players on both these teams. There's receivers on that side. This table over there are outstanding receivers. We got some. Their offensive line doesn't get as much credit as it should. They're an outstanding offensive line. And because both teams score some points, I think both defenses get overlooked. Both defenses are very good. They fly the football. They play with a passion. So it's not just about the quarterbacks, but it's certainly exciting to have 2 guys of this caliber playing in the state championship game.
Just for both coaches. Coach, you kind of moved into my next question here. Obviously, great quarterbacks, great offensive firepower on both sides of football. Can both of you speak on how well your defense has played this year? You guys held Goose Creek to 14 points. And that's the first time Goose Creek held that low in many, many years. And Coach Richardson, of course, your defense is only giving up about 15 points a game. So both y'all can go on that.
I think, you look at offense, it's about matchups. Goose Creek's been a quality program the last 3 or 4 years, but they're, somewhat one-dimensional. It's a little easy team to prepare for versus maybe a spread team that's all 100%, pass. They got tremendous passing yards, but they run the football. They're balanced pretty well. If you give them numbers in the box, they're a great coaching staff. They're going to run the football. The teams that on offense are a little more predictable and take advantage of what the defense gives you, you're going to score points because they're going to try to pick the great play between the quarterback and the staff. Somebody's going to try to get a good play call. But I think both defenses pretty much in this game are probably coming in underrated. I know in our case, our defense has carried us pretty much all year long in terms of playing consistently good defense. And I think the same could probably be said for Northwestern.
Yeah, from our standpoint, our defense has been, week in, week out, they've showed up and answered the call. I agree with Coach. Both defenses are underrated because the offense takes so much, spotlight, and when you got 2 quarterbacks like we got, but their defense has only given up 11 points a game, which is the best in the state. So there's not a lot of easy, give me touchdowns. There's not a lot of easy, give me yards. Number 40, on film is probably the best linebacker we've seen on film, and line up on Saturday, he'll probably be the best linebacker we faced all year. So we feel really good about our defense. I know Coach feels really good about his defense. And at the end of the day, we're both probably sitting here at this table having this press conference because of what our defenses have done week in, week out.
Quarterback versus Shrine Bowl quarterback. It's Stratford versus Northwestern. Is that pretty easy this week?
Oh, yes, sir. It's not a one-man game. It's 11 versus 11. He's got a good quarterback. We got a good quarterback. I also got good wide receivers, a running back that's bigger than our offensive line. He's got good players. I mean, that's something you think about, and that's good for headlines, but that's not going to win the game.
It's December, and I think the only person that's going to be busier than you is going to be Santa Claus. You got the state championship game, you got Shrine Bowl, you got the All-American Bowl, or All-American game, and then you're going to be in Athens, Georgia in about a month. Tell me a little about that.
It's happening a little fast. I guess I just got to take it one step at a time. Coach has been telling me just take it as it comes. State championships the first step this month, and that's the one I'm focusing on right now.
You know, listen to Coach. He's a good football coach, and it sounds like he's a pretty good prognosticator. He said when you guys were freshmen, you know, you were targeted to be a team that would play deep into the state championship or in the playoffs. Tell me a little about, you know, finding yourselves as freshmen and sophomores and getting there this senior year.
It's a growing process. We all came in as freshmen together. I've actually played with Michael and Cecil since we were probably 6 years old, so I know them pretty well. They're good people to go home to. You have a bad day, you go home from practice not feeling too good, and you get a call from Michael to tell you keep your head up. It's fun. It came through. It was kind of slow at the beginning. Wasn't real sure of yourself, freshman and sophomore year, and then as the game slows down, you start speeding up, and then that's when you start making plays. So that's what we've done.
This is to all the Stratford players. Any of you remember 1999?
I wasn't even here. I was in New York. I didn't even know what Stratford was in 1999.
How about the rest of you guys?
No, sir. I was just 3 years old.
3 years old. How about 2004? Did I hear 2004? Tell me a little about that experience. I mean, you know, all the work that went in there. I'm sure you guys went to the games and stuff like that, and to see how a team worked. And
yes, sir. 2004 was my first year. I actually transferred over to the Stratford area, and my mom told me I was actually going to be going to Stratford, so we went up to Stratford State Championship. It was actually exciting to see Coach Stackley and see the team and see the defense I was going to be playing with.
All there last year. The difference between last year and this year, I mean, how much more comfortable you feel going into this game as opposed to maybe last year?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say that the environment is definitely going to be a lot more comfortable with it, and just being there, doing the whole deal, all the facilities, it's not going to be as big as a deal as it was last year. I think it'll be a lot more calm and just ready to play. I think you know, Stratford's got a great group of guys, and it'll be a good game. We're looking forward to it, and having a good week of preparation.
Okay, this concludes this.